What's up, coach? I am coming to you from beautiful Bali with a message of how you can 5x your client results using one simple offer. Now, I'm not going to promise that you're going to 5x your client results, right? I'm just going to share with you a story about how I was able to do that. And hopefully you can apply the same type of concept to your coaching business. Maybe you'll do way more than 5x. Maybe you'll 2x, right? I have no idea. But this concept, I believe, is one of the keys to be able to grow and scale your coaching business without having to scale your team and have all this overwhelm. And the reason I believe this is a few years back, my wife and I had a fitness studio. And when we first started off, we did all sorts of stuff to try and get more clients in. We had heard from other marketers that what you should do is you should have a whole bunch of different offers. You should have sub offers to those offers, right? This offer stack idea where you've got your core offer and it's priced at this much, and then you've got a whole bunch of things under that and even some bonuses to try and incentivize people to buy. And so that's what we did, right? We got started. We had classes for endurance athletes. We had classes for weight loss, classes for building strength. We had classes for different demographics, yoga class, all sorts of different stuff. And then on top of that, we also had nutrition coaching. We had mindset coaching. We had supplements. We had all these different things. Now, there's a time and place for some of that. And they can be good in certain situations. But what we noticed is that when you build an offer that is so complex, it does a couple things. It makes it really hard to scale without scaling your team and having a whole bunch of other people to be able to deliver on some of those things. The second thing that it did is it stole some of the joy from the business because we were almost overcommitting ourselves to doing all these other things that were different from the core offer that we had. And it almost became a distraction for us. Rather than just solving one problem for one person, we were trying to solve like a whole bunch of different problems for a whole bunch of different people. And it wasn't our sweet spot, right? We were trying to serve these different markets and it just became this thing that was overwhelming, right? When you try and over deliver in some ways, it does lead to overwhelm because over delivering takes extra energy and extra focus. And depending on how you want to build your business, if you do too much of that, you're going to end up being overworked and burn out. And so we found out pretty quickly that that strategy did not work for us, adding in all these different things. Now, I've seen other coaching businesses do that too. It wasn't just us in fitness coaching. I've seen finance coaches do it. I've seen life coaches do it. Just basically, you name it. I've worked with coaches in 23 different industries. Many of them have used this offer stack idea. And there is a way to do it that is, you can offer certain things, right? Like if you offer an info product, it doesn't cost you much to deliver on that. But what lots of coaches do is, especially newer coaches, but this is true for many coaches, is you've got your core offer and you price it at a certain amount. But if you don't have the conviction that that offer is worth that amount, what you're going to try and do is justify that. And you're going to try and compensate for it. And that's where you build in some of these sub offers and these bonuses and things like that to make it look like it's actually worth what you're selling it for. And so personally, I don't want to come out selling my offer from a place of insecurity. Like I got to do all these extra things for somebody to buy the main thing. I just want to be good enough at fulfilling that one problem for that one person that it's worth it. It's worth it to them, to the right person, right? Now, the piece of this that really sticks is that simplicity does not mean something is cheap, right? Just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's cheap. It actually means that it's focused on excellence, not excess. And a lot of times this is something that I ran into purchasing other programs like this where you want the thing you want is the core offer, but then they give you all these other things and make it easy to say yes. But what I found is that I often wouldn't use those extra things. Like even though they were, if they were built right, they solve other problems. But the thing I wanted is the thing I wanted. I didn't necessarily want all these other things. And sometimes they even become distractions away from solving the core problem that you have versus helping your client to stay focused and just being really, really clear on this is what you get, right? Because when you're doing sales, there's three things people have to buy. They have to buy you as the coach. They have to buy your process. Like, what journey are you going to take them on to be able to get them from point A to point B? And then third, which is the one we're talking about in this video, is your actual offer. What are they going to get? How are you going to work with them to achieve this? And so in our fitness studio, that offer stack approach burnt us out, like, just too complex. And so what we did is we changed our whole business model and we made it much more simple. People came in through one specific funnel. For us in that business, it was a 6 week challenge. And that's how we got a bunch of people into our business. We taught them things. We got them some great results during that time. And then after that, we had one offer to sell them. It was one offer and it had 2 tiers. And it was basically just one tier that had higher access, it had more support, that kind of thing, and one tier that had lower access. I call it an access offer because that's what it provided. There's a tier for people who need more support and they want more access to you. They want to be in closer proximity to you. And then a lower level for people that don't need as much. Maybe they've got more skills, or maybe there's a financial barrier there, so you're going to help them out until they get to the next level, that kind of thing. So that's what we did. And it helped us to 5x our client revenue through that one simple offer that we had. Now, if you've built a coaching business, maybe you're considering building a coaching business and you've got an offer stack right now, that's not a bad thing, right? It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you've built in things to your offer from a place of insecurity, like you don't have the conviction to sell it for what you want to sell it for, just by itself, that's something that you should do some digging on, right? You don't want to sell from a place of insecurity, from a place of lack. It would be better for you to sell it for less until you get to the point where you get some clients in, you get them some results, and you build that conviction. And I can solve this one problem for this one person really, really well. I've done it for these people. And then you slowly raise your prices to the point that you need them at, right? To be able to have the lifestyle you want, to have the business that you want, that kind of thing. Now, if you've built a business that you've got a bunch of extra things that you're doing, your offer is not simple. Um, it's not something that you really enjoy, or maybe you've got a whole bunch of different offers like we did. Take a look at those. Cut the fat. You don't want to be doing things just to justify your work. You don't want to overextend yourself and end up in a place like we were, where we lost some of the joy because we were doing a whole bunch of different things for a whole bunch of different people. And I've had clients who've done that exact same thing. And when we've pivoted to having this one access offer with 2 tiers, just a simple business model focusing on solving one problem for one person, they've been able to scale their business. They got the joy back. They were able to systemize things and get really, really good at doing the one thing versus having all these different things that they're trying to fulfill on. So I hope that's encouraging to you, that you don't have to over deliver all the time. You should not have to feel this heavy weight, right? It just brings a Bible verse to mind. I don't even remember where it is, but it talks about um, our burdens being heavy, but we should give our burdens to God, and His yoke is light, right? When we take what He gives us, it's not heavy. It should not weigh you down. And so when you think about serving and loving other people through your coaching business, it shouldn't be something that drains you. It shouldn't be something that you end up getting done with work at the end of the day and you don't have anything left for your spouse or for your kids or whoever, right? It should not drain you. It should be something that gives you energy. You get done, you feel encouraged, you feel like you did good work, like you're getting better, not like you're doing a whole list of things throughout the day and you just can't wait till the day's done and you get to the weekend where you don't have to do that stuff. What's really nice about being a coach, being an entrepreneur, is that you get to build this however you want. And in my past, I often built it by default. I did exactly what other people told me I should do instead of just listening to my intuition, just doing what I think I should do, what would work well for me and work well for my clients. You've probably heard me share these 3 questions before. I think they're really good directional questions to be able to help you answer some questions about what you should do next in your business or how you should structure your business. The first one is, what do I want my business to do? Make sure it's aligned with you and your lifestyle and your goals. Second is, what do I want my business to do for them, right? What do my clients want my business to do for them, to make sure you're actually solving a problem for them? And then third, how do I build a business that does both? Now, we could make a slight tweak to that last question. How do I build an offer that does both, right? There is a way for you to be able to build your business by design, your design, not defaulting to what everybody else is telling you that you should. You can build with simplicity. Simplicity scales. That's going to help you build a business that's more fitting for your faith, for your family, for your lifestyle, and for your clients at the exact same time. So I hope that this was encouraging to you, and see you in the next video.